What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Outdoorable Living Show. Today I have my good friend, Mr. Scott Kelly of Precision Construction, here live from the Denver masterclass. What's going on, Scott?
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good, man. How you been? It's been a while.
Too long.
Too long, yeah. You know, I'm trying to remember where we first met. It feels like it's been forever, right? I know it was probably one of the trade shows, Deck Expo, something, but it feels like it's been forever.
Was it a show, or did we actually meet in Garland when you guys were doing?
Maybe. You know.
Well, I think we met before Evolutions hit the market, actually.
Yeah, because you came into
it came down.
Garland
Yeah.
to be one of the first people to give us some feedback.
Yeah,
And
Spanish Inquisition.
Right.
That was something, man.
Yeah. Fast forward, 8 years later? Something like that?
Something like that,
Yeah, and here we are today at a masterclass teaching, I don't know, my last count is we had 27 or 28 contractors here learning about steel framing and, how they can implement that into their business.
Cool turnout, really.
Yeah.
Bunch of cool guys here for sure.
And it's really cool to see that come to fruition, right? That things like this that we talked about, being able to teach the masses these things,
Right.
is happening now.
Well, we've talked about having the, community outside of just the industry, but a tighter-knit community, I guess, within the industry.
Yeah.
And the master classes are bringing that kind of to fruition.
And, with that, you were one of the first to make the switch to exclusively steel, right?
Correct.
But, I really want to dig into what that was like. I know you well enough to know that you don't like some of these titles and you don't like this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
You do. Being one of the innovators and pioneers and first people to make the switch to exclusively steel. And I want to know what that thought process was like, what, good, bad, the ugly of making that jump headfirst into something that nobody else was doing.
Well, I guess it started with I had been looking into it for a while and was like, man, I really want to try this, really want to try this, really want to try this. Finally got an opportunity. Did this project where I was the winning bid. This guy was crazy. Worked from home, like super chill guy. We still talk. His kids are cool. He likes my kid. But yeah, I was the winning bid out of 24 estimates.
Wow.
Like it was like, okay, dude, most people don't do their homework, but
right.
You got your homework done. And I was like, I really want to do the steel, and he was cool with it. And that was like 9 years ago, and it was, I didn't know what I was getting into. Joked about like I didn't have all the tools. Like I built the whole thing with an angle grinder, basically.
Yeah.
200 and something cut-off wheels or something like that. It was f***ing brutal.
Yeah.
But dude, I'll never forget that first time you got on that ladder, and you got at eye level, and it was. That deck was like 35, 40 feet across, and it was just, it was like looking down a sheet of glass, and I was like, all right, I'm in.
I'm done.
Like,
sold.
Sign me up for this program, right?
Right.
And then, you walked on it, and it was like, it didn't move. It was like the stability of it with the decking, there was no flex in it. It was like, I think this is onto something. And then did a couple little wood things after that. Ended up having this big project where
that's the sound of money right there.
That's right. It's the sound of a superior building product.
Yeah.
Um, did this project afterwards, and we had to do this crazy span, and it was sort of the long story short was to do what I wanted to do. The I was gonna have to buy 3 units of PSL lumber at the cost of like $5,000, and even then it was like a foot short of the span I needed, and I got I-beams and it was like $500 versus $5K, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is where we're going. And that was my introduction to Fortress, because part of the engineering team had come out to Colorado and I got to meet them, and that's where I got my invite to Texas. And that kind of got the ball rolling. And then there was one project after that where it was a treated frame, and remember we had to do a laminated beam on the outside, and it was, trying to screw 3 pieces of 2x10 together. And, they got all the cups, and it wouldn't sit flat. And when it was all said and done, we were shimming the fascia to get the fascia to hang level. And it was just like, this is like, no, I'm just done.
Done. You know, talking to you and talking to other people, you went from making that switch, and, for a good period of time, you almost had to be an evangelist of steel out there, preaching the gospel of steel framing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it was definitely Brother Love's Travel and Salvation show for sure.
Yeah. And, and it's like that with anything new that pushes the boundaries and people are like scared of and don't really want to, right? But now, you were telling me the other day, people are coming to you, and I forget what percentage you said of the leads you get.
I would say it's 2/3 or so. I think, we talked about this in the class portion yesterday too, that, with obviously you guys are putting a ton of effort and time into the market and marketing of the product, but it's, steel framing is it's a search item now. Like the general public knows about it now.
Yeah.
And people are seeking it out. And it's not really, the sales process is much easier now because it's not an education process like it used to be. It's more it's a discussion of benefits and problem solving, and not it's just,
and that's
it's not an education for the consumer anymore.
For me as the manufacturer, that's really cool to hear, because we've been talking about, in the near future, it's not going to be, what is this steel framing thing? It's going to be, what do you mean you don't do steel?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't offer an alternative frame? Like, what kind of Flintstone is going on here?
I think that's exactly right. We're headed to the next, like we talked about yesterday. It's not just the building material; it's a building technology.
Yeah.
And the new technology sometimes doesn't get adopted as fast, but then there's always that tipping point, and I think it's pretty legitimate to assume that the tipping point is on its way.
Yeah, agreed. And, I see your dedication to steel and your relentlessness spilling into some other things in your life. Talk about this rucking streak you're on, because this is wild.
I was 48, so 50 now. 48, and I was looking at, my health and all that stuff, and I was carrying 240 something pounds, and my knees hurt all the time, and I kind of told myself that the lie of, I carry a tool bag and I'm a contractor, like I'm getting exercise every day,
right?
And then you have a kid and you try and chase your kid for 10 minutes. You're like, well, maybe I'm not getting all this exercise that I think I'm getting.
Right.
And so Did some looking around. I saw a couple of podcasts, and then read The Comfort Crisis. Great book. They all talked about this rucking thing where, you're basically loading up some weight and
Yeah.
heading out. And so I tried it. Uh, I incorporated it originally as part of doing the 75 hard program is where I first started incorporating it.
Yeah.
And then, it was like, okay, well, I'm at 75 days. And then it was like, oh, well, let's get 100 days. And then it was like, well, let's get 200 days. And then it was like, oh, well, it's 300 days. Maybe I can get 500 days. And next thing you know, it's it's a little over 2 years now. And
Wait, a little over 2 years, and you haven't missed a single day.
haven't missed a day in over 2 years, yeah.
And not only are you rucking, because I do this too,
Right.
but
It's becoming a thing. You got a steel frame and ruck.
it's like that's the cult we live in.
Right.
If you're all in, you have to be doing steel frame and rucking
Right.
every day. Or you're
to truly join the club.
right.
Yeah.
That is the inner circle.
Right.
You can be in one part of the club or not, but if you really want to be all in, you got to do both.
Yep.
But
Yep.
not only are you doing this, you're carrying like 100 pounds, 50 pounds. What is it? It's something crazy.
It's 50. So my daily carry is like 55 pounds. My slack ass carries, I'll do 25 pounds.
Uh,
And then my
Well, thanks for that, because I carry like 23 pounds every
for
day.
40 miles.
Yeah, but still,
Um,
that's your slack carry.
It's my slack carry.
Whatever.
And then my feeling saucy carry is 100 pounds in plates, and then whatever ancillary weights in the bag.
Yeah. That's crazy, by the way.
It doesn't happen a ton, but every
But-
now and then you feel saucy.
I've talked to people about this because a lot of people ask me about this rucking thing and why are you doing it, and you're crazy for doing this. And I've told people a lot of times it's a metaphor for the weight we carry every day mentally, right? And I can only speak for me personally, but I feel like if I can go out and carry that weight physically through some things and distances and stuff that other people aren't willing to do, I can carry the mental weight too.
Yeah.
Because even though it's a physical challenge, it's not a physical challenge. It's pushing my mentality above what I think I'm capable of.
Well, I think honestly, for me, like probably 75% of the time, like I'll go out with, you put in the earbuds or whatever, and you listen to a podcast or you listen to music. But I mean, honestly, when you want the real challenge, like you put that ruck on and then you go out and you don't take the earbuds.
Yeah.
And you go do 10 miles or something and you're out for 2 hours or whatever, and it's basically you await in your thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta to spend that time just in your own head is probably it's harder than carrying the weight most of the time.
Oh
to be
yeah,
honest.
it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, myself included, have a inner monologue that's not very nice,
No,
Right.
mine was not.
right?
Mine was not very nice.
And I
It's
tell
still a
people,
struggle.
It is. It's a struggle every day. And I tell people there's no way I would let someone speak to my wife, my kids, my mom the way I talk to myself in my head,
Yep.
right? And it's a battle to get beyond that sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not one I always win,
No.
Right?
For sure.
but I don't give into that and I keep going.
Yeah.
And that in itself is beating that inner monologue, right? Because we all have it
Oh yeah.
and we all do it.
All. Yeah. No.
And anybody that says they don't is full of it.
Well, I think on it for me, I mean, carrying a rucksack's cheaper than going to a therapist for sure. But
Yeah.
I think the gift for me with especially the streak is that it somewhere along the line it changed to where it was, it was. I remember after I remember thinking like the first year, it was like, okay, I hit the 1 year mark, and it was like, prior to doing that, it would have been like, all right, I hit a year, like, cool, you've done a year.
Yeah.
Take today off. Like, you
Right.
did a year. Like, cool, I'll take a day off.
Yeah.
And then it was like, no,
No.
let's go out the next day.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 years, and it's like, okay, it was like, okay, you done 2 years, you could take a day off. And it's like, no.
No.
Now it's the thing with it. The thing with it now is it's a daily reminder that, like, one, I can show up for myself, and two, that I can show up for other people.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like this.
Oh.
It's this almost it's a curse and a blessing, I guess, because it's like, I know, like, I can look outside and I know no matter, like, it can be snowing, it can be raining, I could have slept for 4 hours,
Yeah.
I could, whatever, and it's like, I know I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So it's great for other aspects of life, because it's like, like, just get it done.
Just get it done. And, for me, doing that first thing in the morning, because I do my ruck in the morning, almost always. Sometimes I'll ruck again in the evening, but always in the morning. It's the hardest thing I'm going to do in the day. And I
A
know
lot of times, yeah.
I know if I start my day doing the hardest thing, there is nothing else that's going to come my way that day that I can't tackle, because I've already done the hardest thing of my day.
Yep.
And I know I'm not a turd for that day.
Right.
And I know I can do hard things. And then whatever else comes my way is nothing.
Well, and I remember the first time my boy was like, "Have you gone on your ruck yet, Dad?" No, I haven't gone yet. He's like, "Well, you need to go do that, don't you?"
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
And
So it's
that's another cool thing. It's like those habits transfer to them, whether we like it or not.
right.
And when you're doing things like that are positive and beneficial, and show them what hard work does, that will pay dividends in their life.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
Oh yeah.
Versus sitting on the couch and being a lazy bum all the time.
Right. Well, what's the saying? Your kids are your kids learn by what you do, not what you tell them. Like, they're gonna follow.
100%.
They're gonna follow what you do, not what you say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's been awesome. I mean, there's times where I've had a couple of times where I've had it out, and the next thing I know, there's this little dude yelling at me on his bicycle, chasing me down.
That's so cool.
So that we can have that time together, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So, we're building with steel, we're rucking, and we're, if you look behind us, there's a lot of young guys here.
They're all younger than me at this point.
I mean,
Damn it.
me too, but, one of the coolest things I see about what we're doing is that influence and legacy we're leaving on some of these young guys. And
Well,
that's the coolest part of all this.
It's going back to it's a technology. So you've got younger guys that are willing to embrace the technology.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the I've been building decks for 30 years guys are phasing out.
Yeah.
And it's only going to become more commonplace as these guys.
And the demand and desire for that knowledge is evident. Like, we've got 20 whatever contractors, like I said, but we've got, I think, 7 different states represented. We're in
I know, that was crazy. We're in Colorado, and we got guys from
we got California, Nebraska, Kansas, Pennsylvania, right? Missouri's here. It's wild that we've got people coming from as far as Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Colorado to learn about steel frame.
What's crazy is I found out this morning talking to Eli, the guy from Pittsburgh, that he got turned on by Tim, who's in Minnesota.
Who's in Minnesota, who came to the Minnesota masterclass. Yeah. We did that. Tim Quigley.
Yeah. So you got Tim telling,
right?
Which goes back to our whole community thing.
Right. And then we've got 2 guys here both from Colorado, but they're here because Kevin from Raven told him about it, who just did a masterclass with me beginning of the week, and did 3 others so far that we've done, right? There's 2 guys here from Legacy Dex Academy that are wanting to learn about steel. It's like our community is growing, and
yes.
people want to be a part of it. And like for me, that's what this is all about: is growing that community of people who want to be the best.
Correct.
And it's cool to see. Like you and I have talked about that for a long time. But to see it happening, it's almost like these are the fruits of our labor.
Yes.
You know.
Well, and if it's going to get more, the community part of it just makes it more efficient because you have guys that freely are going to exchange ideas, exchange tips.
Absolutely.
Just drive everything forward. And then also, like we talked about yesterday, it's, the more people that are embracing the technology and the more people that are learning and selling and, we're driving the standard of an industry up, and we're also driving, let's be honest, we're driving the price point of the industry up.
Absolutely. And that's good for all of us.
Right. And that's just it.
Right. Well, man, I appreciate you doing this with me. I appreciate you taking some time. Again, I know you don't like to hear it, but you're an inspiration to a lot of people, right? And the fact that you're here...
Hard to believe sometimes.
Hey, it's true, though.
All right.
And the fact that you're here teaching all these guys speaks volumes of who you are as a person and who you are as a figure in our industry, and I appreciate you.
Thanks, dude. Good to be here.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is the Outdurable Living Show with the one and only Godfather of Steel, Mr. Scott Kelly. I appreciate you, man.
We'll have you back.
Until the next time.
All right.